Hi y'all, Billy Joe Lane here again. Met another man, met another gorgeous man. Oh, he was absolutely gorgeous. He had this fiery red hair. Because he had sent me a picture. Well, actually, let me start from the beginning. We met in a chat room. He sent me one of those little instant messages that they do. Anyhow, he sent me one of the little instant messages and asked me if I had like a video cam, and I told him no, because I don't know who's on the other end of the line and what they're doing over there. So he sent me a picture of himself. It was a little tiny thumbnail, little picture and whatnot, but he was just too cute. I could tell he was a handsome fella. I knew I was going to like what I see when we got together at the park. So he invited me out on a picnic. He said, oh, you sound gorgeous. You just sound like such a fantastic person. Let's meet up at the park and have a picnic. I'll put together a basket and all that. So I said, that sounds fine to me. I'll bring some wine. So, of course, I went to the store, picked up a bottle of Thunderbird, of course, and just, agreed to meet him, for a nice little picnic in the park. And so he told me to, wear something that he could recognize me. And I told him I was going to wear a cute little hat, with a flower on it. It's my little hat with my little flower on it and whatnot. And a cute little blouse. And I described him what I was going to be wearing and whatnot. So I show up and he's standing there with the basket. And he looked really surprised. He looked really surprised. And needless to say, I was pleasantly surprised. And so he tells me, he says, before I unpack, our lunch, why don't we play a little game? And I said, okay. He said, let's play hide and go seek. So I said, oh, no, getting chased around by a good looking man in a park is just my idea of fun. So I went and I hid, but I hid a little bit too well because I found this like rock formation. It looked sort of like a cave, but it was a bit smaller, so I crawled in. And initially I got stuck, so I had to get out and then back in. So here I am. You could barely see me though because I had broken some bushes off and whatnot and put them in front and whatnot so that you couldn't entirely see. I playing hard to get. So anyhow, I sat there waiting for about 20 minutes and then I thought to myself, maybe he meant for me to come find him. So I start to get out. It was getting hot in there, and next thing I know, you ain't gonna believe this. Just my luck. Damn skunk decided to try to crawl in. Well, I tried to stay still, but I got spooked. And so I screamed and he sprayed. And I stank now. I don't know how long this is going to last. I've kind of gotten used to it, but, Anyhow, so I thought to myself, okay, this is a disaster. Let me just go get back to the picnic and, have a bit of Thunderbird. Because I left the bottle with him. So I get back to where he was standing. But he wasn't there no more. But he left the Thunderbird, thank God, because I needed a drink after that. But I couldn't find him. I don't know if he was hiding somewhere. I mean, I looked for a little while, but I didn't find him. I even looked up trees and whatnot, but I wasn't going to try to climb them, not with these nails on. So I couldn't find him, so I ended up having to walk home. 14 miles. 14 miles. I tried to get on a bus, but they wouldn't let me on. So I ended up having to walk all the way home. And by the time I got almost home, thank goodness that my liquor store was on my route because I had already drank all my Thunderbird. So I had to go in and get me another bottle of Thunderbird. And I came home. So that was the end of my picnic. Another man gone.